Is 24 hours enough to get through all this? Let's talk about that.
Everything kind of flows well. There's some rules that are just kind of like
We're here. So, got the pain case. And in grand total, we have 29 gut rippers, 2 Kruleboyz, we have 6 manskewer bolt boys, we have 2 marsh crawler, no, not marsh crawler, 1 marsh crawler slug. I'm having a stroke. And then we have 2 shaman, 2 kill bosses, and 1 kill boss on Gnash Tooth. Well, we're going to eat some breakfast, we're going to set ourselves up, and we're going to get started. I'm also very excited because we're going to break in the XL paint palette. Let's go. Here at Tattooed Tabletop, we have a lot of fun, so be sure to like, share, subscribe down below. It's completely free, and it helps me out. Now back to the video.
All right, so first things first, as soon as I got all settled, I started taking my models out and organizing them. So one of the things that I wanted to do is I had 29 gut rippers, which means that I wanted to break them into groups of 10, not just because of the unit size, but because I wanted it to look more manageable. If I put them all together, it could easily overwhelm me and it would become a problem. Step 2 was picking a step that was going to be an early victory for me. So in this case, I decided to go with doing the red shields. Now, obviously, this just applies to the gut rippers specifically and some of the hero characters that do have the red shields, but this way, I figured I could get an early victory by doing something smaller, right? You know, picking something that's going to stand out, that's going to feel complete, and actually get me some decent progress. So I set about getting every single red shield possible, and here we've got Bert shifting up the nice shot. Oh boy, Bert. There we go. Easy does it there, Camp. And so basically, I just made my way through all the red shields, just getting everything using some Flesh Terrors red and just thinning it down with some contrast medium and just getting it all over the place. And I was going to go until I had every red shield covered. All right, we got all the red done. Now we gotta get through all the brown, all the gut rippers, all the cloth everywhere. So didn't need that. We're almost at about 12. Feeling okay. I think we're making decent progress. We're just gonna keep going, see how far we can get. Let's do it. Here's where we hit the first real speed bump. So from this point on, I decided to get all the cloths and the leathers. Now, this is on every model. This isn't just gut rippers or just hero characters. This is everybody. Everybody's got some sort of leathers or cloths. This is where things started to go downhill. I started to really lose momentum because I was trying to get the cloth on every single one of them. And because of that, in the middle of it, I started pivoting. I ended up starting to do some of the green, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner there from before. I took 10 gut rippers and I did the skin. I just needed something. I was craving something to feel complete. So I had done some of them ahead of time while I was doing this. And so I made my way through, tried to get all the cloth humanly possible. But this is the part that probably is where I just about lost my will to live. There was so many different pieces that, I tried to do similar models. Even in the batch group, it became a bit much. All right, we pivoted a little. We did the skin after we did the cloth because that's taking a little bit longer. We're feeling worse. It's about 1:30, but I think we can still do it. So keep going. All right. It is 3:48, so I've been painting for 12, about 4 or 5 hours. I think we're gonna start picking up some momentum. Fingers crossed. No, fingers crossed. That's how tired I am. It's time to go get some food, recarb up, and go from there. But we got a lot of the cloth, leather stuff for a lot of the models, including the gut rippers. So it's just going to be skin. And if we can get through the skin, which actually isn't too bad because it's just the one speed paint, one ghillie do, then it should just be metallics. And if we can get to the metallics and woods and like the straps, what the straps are Agros dunes, the wood pieces like the spears are just wildwood, so I'll be able to put those on the wet palette and I can just do all those in one go. So we're getting down to the smaller details, and I think that should buy us, we should get a little bit farther. So oh yeah, we're feeling it for sure. That being said, I don't think I could ever do the full 24 hours unless we hit 1,000 subscribers. So here's a second reminder: be sure to like, share, subscribe, and if I get to 1,000, might actually do a 24-hour paint challenge. But time to get some food. Let's go.
And then once we got some Chipotle, massive thank you to Chipotle for getting my carbs back up, we immediately went on to the skin. Now, this part I thought would be, you know, decently refreshing. We'd start to see a much more complete model, which is fantastic. And honestly, the Army Painter Ghillie Doo Speed Paint is probably one of my favorite speed paints. It's just so vibrant and it settles so nicely, and if you thin it nicely, it actually does a lot of the skin work for you. So I actually really enjoyed a lot of this stuff, getting a lot more of the green in there. Again, you know, we're making sure that we're doing this correctly. We're not going, you know, as fast as humanly possible and, you know, making mistakes all over the place, but we're definitely making sure that we get all the areas, cover all the spots, not worrying about the spots that, you know, aren't visible or anything like that. But that's still 29, that's still across all the models. Every single model's got green skin on it. It was definitely another trial for sure. By the end of this is about how far I had gotten, but I really want to shout out the event. This was actually the 24-hour paint competition that they do at the Forge. I'm really happy to have a local community like this that has cool events like this.
Well, we didn't do it. We gave it our best shot, just shy of 12 hours, so about 11 hours of painting, and I got about 20 of the gut rippas to pretty much... Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about this, but let me see if I can explain it. So I think I got farther than I feel like I actually got, because I look at the models and I look at everything and I think to myself, wow, this is wildly incomplete. But when I look at 20 of my gut rippas, they have the skin done, the leathers. There were certain steps that definitely took a little bit longer, but realistically, all I should need to do is paint the metallic and then a wash. So they're pretty much done. Same with some of the characters. That being said, I didn't get to either of my shaman, I didn't get to the Kruleboyz, and I didn't get to the marsh crawler, so it's still kind of a swing and a miss. But I think it just goes to show that I don't think binge painting is the right move, or the right move for getting stuff done. If you're able to binge paint, then that works very well for you. Then awesome, it's good to know, and that's a good skill to have. But I feel like doing this in bits and pieces over a week, over 2 weeks or something like that is a little bit more stress-free, and it gives you a sense of completionism. Because there were times where I pivoted during the video, as you saw, where I started doing like all the leathers on things, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do the skin on this now because I want this to feel more complete. And I feel like having that complete model or that complete unit is what kind of gives you extra motivation to the next thing. That being said, I'm actually ahead on my videos, which is great in terms of scheduling. So I'm going to get these guys finished and I'll come back to you. But first, it's fourth meal.
I'm not gonna lie, I felt terrible. So the very next day, I picked back up my palette. I set myself up on my kitchen island, which was not a good idea. So for any of you who have sensitive backs, don't do it. But I went back to work, and this felt a bit more relaxing. Maybe it's because I took the pressure off my shoulders of trying to get through all of these models in one sitting. And I also got an opportunity to really think critically about my paint process, about how I was going about it.
This way it allowed me to improve, and I mean, at time of recording, I have a lot more done. We'll get a nice shot of them towards the end here, but this is what I learned, is doing this in batches is a much better way to go about the painting process without putting so much pressure on yourself. So enjoy the process, enjoy painting the models, and make sure that they look the way you want them to. This is what you need to take away from this 110%. And when we get to the end here and take a look at the models, you'll see the progress I made and how much happier it made me. So if I was going to walk away with any sort of advice to you, it'd be this. Do what's best for you, whether that's massive binges of painting or doing it in batches. Either way, just make sure that you're enjoying your hobby. It's gonna mean so much more to you when you paint up a model and paint up a group of models that look just the way you want them to, and you did it without, pulling your hair out of both sides. That being said, here's what they look like, and I'm super proud of them. But in the event that I don't talk to you before then, find some time to go paint something.